What is up, guys? Welcome back, and if you're new here, welcome. Today we're going to be escaping the desert and heading up the mountain to do some camping and fishing. It's been a while since I've fished up at this lake, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. So normally when I come up and camp on this mountain, I'll just take the freeway up, drive up the paved canyon. Still super pretty driving up the canyon. However, you miss out on a ton of the views where you can just see the mountains just spanning forever, it seems like. And the reason I found this trail was because of OnX Off-Road. I've got OnX pulled up here on my CarPlay every single time I go out off-roading. If you're interested to learn more, there's a link in my description. And if you do choose to go with OnX, it also gives me a little bit of a kickback, which helps the channel and also helps me bring you guys along on more adventures. So be sure to go down in the description, click that link, and check out OnX if you've never seen it before. Well, I've made it to this spot for the night. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that drive out here. It was super freaking cool. Takes a couple hours when you're filming and stuff, but totally worth just taking the back roads to get out here. But let me show you guys around the camp spot. So my favorite part about this spot is the fact that it's so secluded. So this is the spot I always park my truck. It's nice kind of underneath these trees here. However, it gives me a really good line of sight for Starlink. Nice little fire pit here. Here's a bunch of firewood from actually some of the last times I've been up here. It's kind of all been kicked around, but these are from other times I've been up here and collected wood. Lots of spots over here for buddies and stuff to pull up. I know you can tuck back down in there if you want to. But yeah, it's like this whole roundabout kind of area, and it's all super secluded in these super tall trees. I think it's time to get a fire going. Tonight I'm going to be cooking my first ever Dutch oven meal. I kind of had some ideas and kind of winging it, so went and bought a bunch of just, I say random things, it might sound random to some people, but went and bought a bunch of things we're just going to throw in there and see if it turns out good. So I got the fire over there kind of smoldering down a little bit, so I have some coals for the Dutch oven. Kind of gets the bed or whatever you want to call it all nice and warm. So let's start getting the food prepped. This might seem like a little bit of a weird idea, but I got some chicken broth, some ramen packets, tomatoes, and garlic. I kind of just was like, man, I've had foods with all those things good together. This must work. So we'll see. I'm going to get the chicken all cut up into just bits. I'll put them in the Dutch oven, kind of get them seared a little bit on the fire, and then I'll go ahead and start getting everything else put together. Second thought, I should have cut the tomatoes and stuff first. Alright, so Dutch oven is in the fire. I've got the chicken kind of like getting seared, and then once I flipped them all, I also added the tomatoes and the garlic so they can all kind of whatever you call it. So they can all you know, brown up, I guess is what we're gonna say right now. Oh yeah. This is probably the most effort I've ever put into cooking a meal while camping. So it better be good. It smells pretty dang good. So I'm stoked to see how it turns out. This is probably like one of my favorite parts about going camping. Be all nice and warm now. This is like one of the first times I've actually come decently prepared. Got the chicken and tomatoes and garlic all browned up, and then I went ahead and added in just a little bit of chicken broth. Kind of got everything mixed around, let it kind of work in a little bit, and then I poured in a bunch more, just enough to cover up a couple packets of noodles. I kind of tipped the Dutch oven on the side to kind of help fill it up a little bit better so they're not covered. because I don't want it super soupy, but that's also kind of the point of it. But it's just down in the fire cooking now, and I'm just gonna let it do its thing. We'll see how it turns out. Been letting it cook. The sun's kind of already dropped, so I'm definitely feeling the chilliness, but I think it's ready to get served up. Let's check it out. Oh yeah. Boom. Kind of just looks like normal ramen, but it's like spruced up normal ramen. So time to kick it and try it out. Time for the taste test here. It's pretty pretty plain, but I think adding like the tomatoes and the garlic and stuff like that kind of helped spruce it up a little bit. So I'm gonna kick it, chow down, and get everything cleaned up. Boom, just like that, all gone. I'm not gonna bore you showing you how I clean all my dishes and such. Sun's gone down, but we've got a pretty bright moon back there. So I'm gonna get everything cleaned up, go to bed, and we'll see you guys bright and early in the morning for some fishing. Well, good morning. Sun is just starting to peek up through the trees there. It is an extremely windy morning. I love how right when I go to show you it's really not bad, but it's been pretty gusty. And I know fishing down at this lake, it's usually like super windy over there. Like when it's windy, it's windy. So we'll see. I'll get camp cleaned up and then head on down, and we'll see what we can catch, if we can even cast out. So I've made it over here to the lake now. Fortunately, there's not very many people here, which is a good sign. It is a Friday morning, so I kind of expected at least a little bit more, but water level is like extremely higher than last time I was here. But I was thinking last time I was here was in the fall, and we have not been getting good rain or water here. Rain or snow. But I'm gonna walk on down here, find a good spot, and start seeing what we can do. Well, I'm getting this all set up now. I was told to use one of these little wire leaders with the spoons. I'm gonna try it. I feel like it's a little bulky looking and, you know, doesn't look super natural to me, but I got a few options for spoons I got recommended. There's a big silver one, like a smaller blue and silver,
and then also this one that kind of looks like a trout. So I think because of the size of fish I've seen, I'm gonna start off with this bigger one just to see what happens. I think it'll be easier to cast out too, get it deeper. So get it all hooked up and see how it goes. So that right there is what we're using. If I was a fish, I would like I don't know if the camera just saw that, but all of a sudden the water just like tornadoed. Kind of felt bad on that one. He didn't even bite it. It just hooked him through the side. So when I was pulling, I was like, man, this is a big fish. I was just dragging him sideways, feeling all of that drag. So I at least had a little bit of luck there. I got one trout. I'm not gonna lie, I felt like a monster. I hooked it through the side and it was just like dragging sideways through the water. And I was like, dang, that's a big fish. Indeed, was not a big fish. Cast it out for like another 10 minutes at that spot and I wasn't getting anything, but I've been looking down here to the side and I keep seeing fish jump. So I was like, you know, might as well head down this way. And I also might change out my spoon to like that more trout looking one and see if that does anything. So I'm gonna be switching out to this one right here and seeing if that does anything good. So anytime I've ever really fished, I've always just gone and bought the like little spinners with the treble hooks. Just like, I've always just bought the gold spinners and I've used those everywhere. I've caught like every freaking fish that I've ever caught on a gold spinner. So I'm kind of trying some new stuff today. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but it looks tasty. So the main reason I'm switching it out is this other one is considerably smaller and I just don't know if maybe just the big size is throwing them off. Honestly, I have no idea. I've never fished with these before. So kind of just seeing what happens. So I've been fishing for like a couple hours now and I've only got the one. I had that one where I felt a bite and then caught the one and I just haven't been feeling anything else. I'm getting kind of hungry, so I'm gonna head back to the truck and make some breakfast. So this is what I'm going to be doing for breakfast. I'm going to be taking one of these peak meals and some tortillas and making some breakfast burritos. These things are super convenient. You just boil up some water, throw it in there. It sits for this one 10 minutes. So it's really not bad. And then you've got a whole meal. Well guys, thank you for tagging along on the adventure. Got some breakfast in me, did a little bit of fishing, had some good camping and cooking solo last night. The wind is picking up like crazy right now, so I'm gonna be headed off the mountain. Thank you guys for tagging along, and if you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe. You can also check out my Instagram and stuff too. But either way, we'll see you guys in the next adventure.